No matter how wonderful life is, each one of us has had to call 911 sometime or the other in our life. So today we're going to talk to Constable Wendy Drummond to see what happens when you make that phone call. So thank you once again for being here.
Thank you, Molly.
So tell me, what happens when you dial that number 911?
911 puts you through to a call center from the Toronto Police Service, and a member will answer that phone, ask you if you need police, ambulance, or fire.
Yes.
From there, they're going to ask you a number of questions, your location, what the issue is the situation happening now, do you need medical? In some cases, you'll be transferred over to an ambulance attendant who may then provide you with instructions on how to proceed. Or if it's in case of a fire, put you through to fire. In any regard, there is going to be help sent.
Okay.
The 911 system, unfortunately, has had some issues in where people feel that if they don't speak English, they can't call. They feel that they can't communicate with somebody. They will call another family member before calling 911, and that's precious, precious time that is lost in time of an emergency. Every second counts. So we do have information on our website that does explain that 911, you can dial 911 in any language. What happens is when you do call, you explain to the best of your ability what language that you speak. The operator will then put you in touch with a translator, so don't hang up. Stay on the line.
Okay.
Once that translator comes on, they will explain to you in the language that you speak, talk to you, find out what the problem is, translate that back to the operator who's still, the 911 operator, still on the line listening.
Okay, so they're still there.
They're still there,
Okay.
and they're going to then get translation from the translator as to what the situation is.
And all
where
of
we
this is
need to
being
go.
done simultaneously.
Simultaneously, absolutely. So the biggest thing is if you don't speak English and
Don't
you
be
need,
afraid.
do not be afraid. Call 911, tell them the language that you speak. We will put you in touch with a translator no matter what your language we have access to. So don't hang up, wait for that translator. Translator will speak to you, and the 911 operator will still be on the line listening to what's being said and send the help to you.
Okay, now what are some of the things that people don't do right when they make 911 call?
Right.
So
Last year we kicked off a big campaign trying to reduce the number of pocket dials. Every time a call is made to 911 and there is either no person on the other line, there is no information as to who's calling, we have to investigate that. So every time a person calls, we have to try and ascertain where the call is coming from. If there is a problem, we have to, if we get a location, we'll have to send an officer there to determine whether or not it's an emergency or not a valid emergency. So we've noticed an increased number of pocket dials with the use of new technology and the increased number of people having cell phones. We are finding that our calls coming into 911 were steps. You could hear footsteps. You could hear this in the purse. And what it was somebody had either, just put their phone in their purse. They had dialed 911 in air. They didn't even know. And now you've got an operator listening to, is it a struggle? Is somebody suffering a medical incident and they can't talk? We don't know. So we have to respond. Some people, and then when they realize they've called 911, they'll quickly hang up. So we ask you, please don't hang up. The time it takes now for the operator to take that original call, try and find out who's called and where they are, trying to call the person back because now that they've hung up, it all takes time.
So
and it's also
if you
taken
made that
from our
call
resources.
inadvertently or accidentally, then pick up the phone and call back the operator and explain to them.
Absolutely.
So that we don't waste any
Absolutely,
precious
absolutely,
time
because it is.
or
It's time,
resources.
it's time being taken away from the operator. So if they're on a 911 call, perhaps there's somebody in
There's
a
another
real
emergency.
emergency waiting to get through to an operator. And all this time being spent trying to find out, was it a pocket dial or is it in fact emergency? And then there's the other aspect of having to send an officer to a location to confirm, because the person now, oh, I've called 911, they're nervous, they're not going to answer their phone. So now we've got an officer taken off of the streets, to investigate something
You
that
could
could
have
have
been
been dealt
dealing
with within seconds.
a real emergency.
That's right.
Okay, so that's
right.
one. Anything else that the public needs to be aware of?
Yeah, 911. They're going to ask you. They're going to ask you some very specific questions. We understand that you're going to be calling in a time of need, in a time of emergency. You may feel that some of those questions aren't really relevant, but we just want you to know that they are relevant. That they have most likely already sent help to you without you knowing, and they've got you on that line for a number of different reasons. One, to get more information. Two, to keep you on the line in the event that you know, we need to know that your safety is still of importance and that you're still safe. So there is a number of different things and a number of different reasons why we ask some of the questions that we do. So if you do find yourself in need of calling 911, the biggest thing is listen to the operator and provide the information and details that they're asking.
I know, but sometimes people are in a panic mode because an emergency has taken place.
Absolutely. I was a 911 dispatcher before becoming a uniformed police officer. So I've dealt firsthand with these people, and it is something that when people do call 911, it's a lifeline. And you're their last resource of help and assistance. And we do understand that. And you know, our operators are very trained and very qualified, and they're there to provide you with the assistance that you need. But they are going to require some information and detail from you as well.
So the more information that the caller provides, easier it is for help to arrive.
That's right. Easier
and
to provide
and appropriate help to arrive.
And then that's key. That's key. If we don't have any information, please send help, please send help. Police arrive, but it's a fire. You know, so we have very limited resources in knocking down a fire. So it is very important that the correct information be given. But also, people have this conception that we know where you're calling from at all times. But in this day and age,
that's what people think.
That's right. In this day and cellular age, the numbers could be, you know, not corresponding to where you're calling from, or the information, the name and the address that comes up may not correspond to the incident of where it's taking place.
So identify your location immediately.
Absolutely.
That can be very crucial.
Absolutely. Again, all the information that they're asking is critical, and it's asked for a reason. So we need to verify that that information is right, so we don't send the resources to the wrong location.
What if somebody has a blocked number? Can the operator get that number, or should you give that number?
Give the number, absolutely. Give the number. That's going to assist us again if for a number of different reasons, if communications is disconnected, we have a way of getting back to you quickly.
Because that's again a misconception that people feel that the police has access to all this information.
That's right.
So if you have a blocked number, the police may not necessarily have that number and may not be able to get back to you in case they require any additional information.
That's right. And you know, the mechanisms that we do have in place to obtain information, if it's not readily available, again, it all takes time. It all takes time.
Okay, so identify yourself, give your phone number where you're calling from, and identify the location.
That's right.
And be as specific as you possibly can about
provide as much information as you can, and be sure that help may have already been started before the continuation of all these questions. In an emergency, seconds seem like hours.
Absolutely, yes. All right, so thank you once again for being here. This is really great information, and I'm sure it's going to save lives, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you once again.
That's all for this week. Thank you for watching. And if you have any celebrations that you were a part of and you would like us to know about it, why don't you send us information on it? And this week is going to be a nice week, so stay warm, stay safe. We'll see you again, same time, same place. Until then, this is Molly signing off. Have a great week.